How Thailand got so expensive. There was a time when Thailand meant value, not just cheap, but value. You could live for a lot less. You didn't need to be rich to enjoy life here. You didn't need to be living out in the sticks. You just needed to be here. And now it seems like everything's gone up. Some people say the rent's gone up, which, okay, I get it. Maybe the condos, maybe apartments have gone up. Doesn't seem like housing has gone up for me and my wife. I mean, we've been living in the same two places for about 25 years, and the price has never gone up. It's been 6,000 and 7,000 baht, 6,000 for a house, 7,000 for a townhouse. And to me, that's dirt cheap. I remember when I lived back in 1979 in Alamogordo, New Mexico, and my friend and I had an apartment. No, we had a house, for $150 a month. And myself, him, and one other guy, we split it. We paid $50 each for the house. Had a big yard. It was a nice house, and, can't complain about it. But anyway, I'm not just talking about rent. We're talking about food. We're talking about Grab. We're talking about visa costs, which, I don't know, has visa costs gone up? Well, they made it more difficult. But just inflation in general, that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's a little bit different than what it used to be. And, I can bring these talks on where I talk about, oh, this is how it used to be. It doesn't matter how it used to be. It matters how it is right now. But I'm telling you that now is quite a bit different than it used to be. And you might not believe me. I don't really care. It's up to you. You can believe it or not. I'm telling you, you should believe it because it's true. And some things, maybe they didn't change, but in other areas, they changed quite a bit. So I'm going to lay it out for you today, why Thailand has gotten more expensive, much more expensive. And while it is still cheaper than in many countries in the West, the gap is narrowing between them. And that is what is important, because there may be some point where Thailand is exactly the same price as the U.S., or it's only a tiny bit cheaper. That may happen. So I'm going to tell you what's changed and what it means for those of us who are trying to live here or even just get by without being bled dry. In case you don't know, my name is Scott, and I'm an American who's been living here for more than 30 years in Thailand. I just want to tell you, do me a favor, if you like this video, if you like the live streams and everything I do on this channel, please click like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so you'll stay informed of all the upcoming videos and live streams. So let me just get right into it here. The good old days, they were very, very real. And there's this idea that Thailand was never really that cheap, and it's just nostalgia. And to be honest, that's a bunch of BS. Okay? It did used to be that cheap. I've lived here long enough to remember when you can get a bowl of noodles for 15, 20 baht. And in fact, and I've said this many, many times, I still remember when I used to go over to, there was a little market. It was like a weekend market, and they would have pad thai on a big silver piece of metal. And what they would do is scoop up some of the pad thai. They'd put it on a paper, wax paper. They'd wrap it up, put a rubber band around it, and 5 baht. Now, I might get 2 of them in case, just so that it fills me up. But I'm telling you, it was 5 baht. That's it. Now, I mean, it's 40, 50, 60 baht. That's in like a food court or something like that. If you go into a restaurant, it might be 80 baht, might be 100 baht, might even be, you can go into some places in Thailand here, and it might be 150, 200 baht. Not many, but, you never know. Apartments, back in the day, I mean, I had an apartment, 3,500 baht. I had another one, 3,500 baht, up in Udon Thani. You could get an apartment here very, very easily for 3,000 to 500 baht. And like I said, you can still get, if you really look, this is the thing, if you look, you can get a house for cheaper than apartments, and it's worth it. Okay, that's what I'll say. A full meal back in the day used to, like I said, used to cost well under $1. A cold beer was, half the price that it is now. And life was simpler, less polished, and a whole lot more affordable. Once Thailand hit 30, 40 million tourists a year, everything changed. The demand meant higher prices. It's just simple economics. Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket, Pattaya, they got flooded. Hotels raised rates, and landlords saw bot signs. Street vendors started charging foreigner prices by default. Now, that doesn't happen all that much, but the prices have gone up, even for Thais. And when tourism is your number one economic engine, you don't care about whether locals or long-term expats get priced out. And I can tell you right now, I saw a thing where yesterday in Mexico, the Mexicans, there were a few hundred Mexicans protesting in front of the U.S. Embassy because they feel prices have gone up too much because there's too many foreigners coming to Mexico, and they don't like it. So imagine if that happened here. Number 3, COVID killed the middle class. Well, I don't know about that. COVID didn't just shut down Thailand. It wiped out the affordable options. I don't know about that. But, in some ways it did. Mid-range hotels, guest houses, local cafes, some of them are just gone now. And what's left is luxury resorts and dirt cheap backpacker dumps. You look around, you'll find whatever you want. But it is a little bit more difficult. There's no middle ground. There's not much of a middle ground like there used to be. And, I'll tell you what, I remember coming here and I could easily find a hotel room for 500 baht. I can't really do that anymore. It's not quite as easy. So, the 700 baht guest house that you used to stay in, maybe it's closed now, or maybe it's rebranded and it's 1,500 baht. Maybe it's a boutique hotel or something like that. The Thais are trying to recover their losses, and they're doing it on your dime, and they're not always doing it in a way that I would call smartly. All right, number 4, greedy landlords and Airbnb cancer. One of the biggest drivers of rising cost is the rental market. Landlords who used to charge 8,000 baht for a decent studio apartment now want 15,000 baht or more because they can get it from clueless short-timers. Now, I remember probably 13, 14 years ago, I had an apartment near my gym because it was far away, and that apartment was 9,000 baht, and it was quite nice. And I had a couple of apartments, like I said, that were 3,500. I had another one that was, I think it was 6,000, and then I got the next level up. It was 9,000. Then I went up to the top floor, and that was 30,000, and I had to pay for the modem and the maids and everything else. And by the time I was done, it was 40 to 45,000. And prices, I'm sure that place is a lot more expensive now. Airbnb and digital nomads have made things worse. They overpay for short stays and flood the market with demand. Local landlords figured this out, and they know now they can get a 1-month tourist. They can get these 1-month tourists to come in, and then just they'd rather do that than deal with a long-term tenant. It's like you see a taxi. There are a lot of taxis that they drive around and they find their customers, their fares. There are some, they just sit there at the hotel because they say, hey, you give me 200 baht. You give me 300 baht. And the guy goes, oh, yeah, okay, that's not too bad. When maybe the fare was 100 baht. And that's what they're doing. Rents are somewhat inflated, and some of the stability is just not there anymore. All right, government confusion and policy flip-flop. Oh, my God. Flip-flop is the government's first name. The Thai government says they want high quality tourists, but what they're really doing is making it harder for long-term people to stay. And some of these long-term people, they have enough money, but if the government wants high quality tourists, well, they might have to put out a little bit more, and they're not putting out really anything. Some of the visa rules are changing or difficult to understand, and the retirement extensions now, they have a little bit more red tape, and all these little things add up. Now, the tourist visas, well, who knows what's going to happen with them. They may shorten them. The visa exemptions, they may shorten, and tourist visas, who knows what's going to happen with them. And the digital nomads, they don't exactly get a whole lot of help. And then, of course, we have the weed mess, political uncertainty, and the inflation. Like I said, there's not really that much clarity, and this drives up the prices because uncertainty always costs money. Let's see here. To be fair, though, costs worldwide are up, and Thailand's rise feels worse because the value here has dropped before you could justify the cost because the experience was worth it. The value was there, and now you're paying more and getting just as much or less as before. Food portions are a little bit smaller. Service is a little weaker. Smiles aren't as common. There's more hustle, more scams, more bait and switch. And I said it before. I said, the food when I first got here, every meal I had, I thought, oh, this is phenomenal. Now, some of it might have been me. But, as time has passed, I've been noticing that sometimes you get food and you go, it's okay. It's not great. And even my wife notices this. So Thailand's not just getting more expensive, it's also less satisfying. And, like I said, you can live for cheap, but you got to work for it. I live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath townhouse with a garage and a small yard. It's 7,000 baht. That's about $200. Like I said, I lived in a place, it was a house, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and it was 6,000 baht. Now, this isn't the newest house or the greatest house or anything like that, but we have made it our own. So it is possible to live cheap, but you might want to learn to speak Thai, because I did. I helped my wife. My wife has taken care of things also. You might want to avoid the tourist areas. You might want to cook at home more. Whatever you want to cook. It doesn't have to be Thai food. And be smart with your choices. Thailand isn't necessarily cheap by default anymore. It's cheap if you know how to play the game. And so what I would say is you need to be very, very careful about your money. You need to be careful. You need to watch what you spend money on, unless you've got just an exorbitant amount of money. But, people love to say that you can eat for $1 in Thailand or $2 in Thailand. And you can. But that's if you want to eat Thai. If you want to eat Thai every day, well, you could spend, 200-300 baht a day. And you can eat yourself content. But do you really want to eat Thai food every single day? I mean, let's be honest. Who wants to do that? What about Japanese food, Vietnamese food, Italian food, Indian food, Mexican food, Chinese food, Korean food? So if you want to eat that way, good luck staying under $5 because you're going to be eating at a pretty lousy restaurant. If you want a real steak, it's going to cost you. A decent pork chop, it's going to cost you. Not as cheap as it used to be. Go to the supermarket and try buying something like Greek yogurt. For one package of Greek yogurt, which I don't know how many, maybe is it 500 grams? I'm not sure. Maybe it's 250 grams. It's going to cost you about $6. You want a proper loaf of bread that's not full of sugar and preservatives. It might cost you $3 to $5, even more. It might cost you $10 for a really, really good, hearty piece of bread. You don't have to buy that all the time, but you can buy. Listen, we get bread, it's 89 baht to about 129 baht. And that's, I mean, think about it, that's a meal, okay? Thailand can be cheap if you want to eat like a broke student, but once you want any kind of variety, you're paying global prices. And forget about it if you have kids or a partner who doesn't want to have Thai food all the time, because the cheap meals start vanishing. Things start costing more money. You want Western food, whatever it is, Vietnamese food, Japanese food, it's going to cost you more. And the truth is that Thai food is very affordable, but living in Thailand and eating like a normal adult with global taste adds up quick. Okay, so why did Thailand get so expensive? The tourism saturation, greed, policy chaos, global inflation, and a shift away from thinking about value. It's still a great place to live, but it's not the deal that it used to be. If you come here expecting 1900s or 2000s Thailand, 1980s even, you're going to be disappointed. Now, if you don't know anything about it, well, then keep an open mind. If you adapt, you stay sharp. Stop chasing the fantasy. Don't think about, oh, Thailand's supposed to be like this, it's supposed to be like that. Don't think like that, okay? Then you can still make it work. All right, that's all I have. So until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di leo jerken mai, which is good luck, and see you again.